Hello, and thank you for joining us for another Empowered Whole Being Press author interview. So excited today to introduce you to two of the members of the Lemurian Fellowship, Conrad and Sally Funk. Hello, Conrad. Hello, Sally. Thank you for being here today.
Hi.
So excited to bring you awareness to their book, which is really interesting. It's different. It is a compilation of short stories on several different topics of things that they teach and explore at the fellowship. Now, the fellowship was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was established in 1936.
Yes.
And is based in, Ramona, California. That's right. So they've been doing really amazing work for quite a long time. I have another author, Michael Caesar, whose book is published by Empowered Whole Being Press, who studied and followed the Lemurian philosophy through the fellowship and found great results and support from the fellowship. So through that experience, I have such high regard of what they're doing there. So I just want to share with you just briefly some of the topics in this compilation, self-help, self-empowerment, self-realization book that they published, that we published for them. It's one of the topics in the table of contents is a collection of short stories about ancient wisdom and the Lemurian philosophy, which is fascinating. And then we have personal development, happiness and well-being, receiving and giving, overcoming fear, very important topic for right now. And then virtue. I want to talk, there's even more than that, but I want to just stop with that. But I think this is really important topic of virtue, because they're working with kindness and tolerance and integrity and things of this nature. And I think that's a key element of being accountable for what you're experiencing in life. So I believe this book would bring whoever chooses to read it a lot of benefit. And now I'd love to ask you a couple of questions. First one is, what inspired your fellowship to create this compilation book?
Well, thank you, Candace, for the opportunity to talk about our book. Lemurian Connections is, as you said, a collection of stories and articles written by dozens of Lemurians, past and present. Talks about life in Lemuria, ancient Lemuria, which was a great civilization of the past, and especially talks about how people today are able to use the laws and principles that made Lemuria so great. They use these principles to improve their lives, their characters, their finances, their health, and learn how to help others in cosmically sound ways. So we want people to know about this, of course. The timing of the release of the book was most interesting. It was published on the last day of 2019, and unknown to any of us then, the coronavirus was here and beginning its deadly work. We didn't know about it, but the great ones who sponsor and guide our work did know, and I feel sure that they wanted everyone to have access to that book now. So
I agree.
They can also take advantage of this philosophy. The Lemurian Fellowship, as you said, is a school that teaches and trains people in the use of our philosophy, but it's so much more than that. It's a counselor, a guide, a friend, and those who have had a relationship with it wouldn't want it any other way. Students develop spiritually through this training, and as you know, the fellowship was founded in 1936, right in the middle of the Depression and just before World War II started. Probably until that time was the most difficult period in American history. And during that time, when people were so troubled and had so many problems to deal with, thousands of them turned to the Lemurian Fellowship, became good students, and got a handle on what was going on and what they could do in their lives to get through this time. We've seen a similar rush of people to the fellowship in the last 5 years as people were struggling with their finances and other problems. And I believe it'll be of even more help now with the very difficult things that we're struggling with now. So for those reasons, and also as you get through this training, you're able to be a part of the world Lemurian community. And really being around other Lemurians is a wonderful experience, because they believe in the same principles you do. They are spiritually inclined. They're very knowledgeable and capable people you can learn from, but they're also willing to learn from you. And they seem to care as much about your well-being as they do their own. So we hope that someday some of the people that become interested will be able to join us here in our community. Those are the reasons we wanted to.
That's what inspired you. All excellent, powerful reasons. So I'm going to segue into my second question, which is my last question, which is, in what way, and you kind of already touched on it a little bit, in what way do you hope or envision those who read your book, Lemurian Connections, will be able to be empowered to create a better life?
Well, the world at this point, and the universe, in fact, seems to be moving forward or straining to move forward. And as a result, people are consciously or unconsciously sensing a need to move forward and move forward spiritually. And it was our hope that, and yet, when people are they think about spirituality, they think they have to be so perfect, or, you can only wear white robes and do all this stuff. And,
Right, exactly.
Well, the stories in this book are very human stories. They show how to live a spiritual life while struggling with your parents, or, trying to help a child make an appropriate decision, or fighting with someone. Having an agreement with someone. And this is where the virtues come in so much. And there just seems to be a gap for people between what does it mean to be spiritual and what the way I'm living every day. It seems so far apart. And we hope that these very human stories will show them that they can live a life of spirituality and be a spiritual person while dealing with the everyday experiences they have, because those are the experiences that will enable them to advance as individuals closer to God, advance as individuals. And there's also, as Conrad said, there are stories about the past, about Lemuria, and who are the masters, and a lot of questions that people have that they can, if they're just curious about that, but not about how to use the philosophy in their everyday life, they've got answers there in that book, or ideas to think about. And we just hope there's a little bit of something for everybody in this.
I believe there is. The book also lends itself perfectly to be used as what I refer to as an oracle book, in that once you've read it, if you're feeling unsure or maybe looking for some guidance, and just while in meditative state, open the book to whatever page, and it can be used that way, in my opinion, as well, as a tool and for guidance. Thank you so much. This is so powerful, and we are truly grateful and honored to be able to assist you in bringing this information to the world. And I want everybody to know that the Lemurian Connections book is available anywhere you want to buy a book. So online, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and then as bookstores begin to open, you can it's available through bookstores. They may have to special order, but it is available. And it's also available on the Lemurian website. And would you give us your URL for the bookstore, or at least for your website, so people can go there and look for the book as well?
Yes, it's www.lemurianfellowship.org. And when you go onto the website, there's a menu up there, and there's one for the bookstore, and you can just click on that.
Perfect.
There are several books that we have available.
And remember, everyone, it's .org, lemurianfellowship.org, and then go to the bookstore to purchase it. So again, thank you so much for sharing your time and your information and philosophy and this wonderful tool, your book. And we hope that everyone who watches this video seeks it out. It'll help you in many, many ways. So thank you.
Thank you, Candace.
Appreciate it.